Welcome to Fanarchy with Rivet, the show made for emerging music artists. Join us as we chat with music's finest, sharing expert insights and personal journeys for growing your fan base and building stronger connections with your supporters. If you're an emerging artist, stay tuned. All right, welcome to the Fanarchy podcast with Rivet. We got E Bleu in the building.
Let's go.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
And we got Big Homie Doe.
Yes, sir.
Always a pleasure coming around visiting.
Thanks for coming, man.
Fan. No, thank you guys for having me. It means a lot. I appreciate it.
How long you in town for?
As of now, Sunday, with that 10-6 stint when I'm out here.
Why is that?
Man, I think it's hard to plan a trip to anywhere for a weekend, 2-3 days. You know, as soon as you get in, you're like, oh, yeah, we got this going on Tuesday. You going to be here, right? I'm like,
Tuesday.
Yeah. Tuesday.
I guess, yeah.
We're going to be here, right, Sharps? We'll figure it out.
And the weather nice, too, so it's
hard
I'm
to
coming
say
from
no
right now.
98 degrees in Houston, Texas right now. I'll be around for as long as I can.
Nice.
You going straight back to Houston?
Yeah, for now. I'll be back for like 3 or 4 days. Then we go to LA next week.
That's tight, man.
It's always good being in Chicago. It's one of my favorite cities for sure.
Why is that?
The food for one, the weather for two during the summertime because I've been out here for I've caught
There we go. Got
winters.
disclaimers.
But I just love the vibes out here, man. I feel like everybody's just on some like positive, more. It's very different. Like even the nightlife here is very different than what I know it to be in like a lot of the other cities that I've been in, and it's a lot less like hip hop based and some. I don't know. It's just like a whole different type of space that people out here on some super like chill and positive type of stuff. For the most part, I know Chicago gets Chicago-y, but I'm saying like my experiences out here, it's a very different vibe for sure. I like it.
That's
I
awesome.
like being out here.
Well, you got plans this summer? Any big plans this summer?
This summer, man, every day is big. You know, I like that in my life at this moment. It's like no 2 days the same. Everything's kind of just like I go with the wind, and I end up in some pretty cool situations sometimes. Sometimes not as much. So I'll rock it out, and I feel good about the summer. The vibes are looking great so far.
Mexico.
Oh, yeah, we might do a little Mexico trip in a couple of weeks.
Okay. That's
I forgot we just put that together, but I don't premeditate too much else. I'm not somebody you can call me and be like, yo, we're going to go on vacation next year in October. I don't know what I'm doing next month, brother, to be honest with you. If you're down to go somewhere next week, I could probably put it together.
Tonight?
We here for a reason. We outside.
That's dope.
So switching gears a little bit, talking about your partnership with AWOL, what do you feel like that has done for you? And do you mind breaking that down for artists that might not be familiar with partnerships like that?
For sure. So I was able to end up in a very special situation. One of the people that I kind of started out with on my solo journey from a few years ago, his name is Corey Walker. He was somebody that believed in me and had got me in front of Sean Barron in the first place. Was like my big brother that's helped me out from the beginning. So through him, we started. He had got a job at Motown at first, and we worked through there and just kind of continued to try to work it. And as my situation kind of came to a stop, he just kept going, kept moving, and ended up at AWOL like through his course of time. And when my situation cleared up, we just kind of came together, and we felt like it was a good opportunity to be able to bring something together over there. And it was amazing. I did a 10-song deal. Literally, like, it's not a time frame type thing. As soon as the 10 songs are done, I'm back free. And it's just like, you know, AWOL is one of those labels. It's not so much structured like a major label with like the biggest of teams and all. You know, you have a handful of people that are in your corner that is willing to help. You know, they help you with funding certain things, and then you have a lot of control on how you do it. You own, I mean, at least for me, I own my masters. And like I said, I don't feel stuck. I don't feel like it's one of those situations where it's just like if something goes wrong, I'm there for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You know, everything's been so smooth. It's been like a really coexisting environment, and them just really trying to help independent artists, which is kind of like their whole motto. So teaming up with AWOL was great. I'm really excited about what we're gonna do. I've only dropped 2 songs on 2 songs.
So we're just getting started.
So I got 8 songs left.
Got some work to do.
For sure.
But they got to be exciting as an artist to be in those situations where it's based off like creativity and not necessarily like a time frame. So where you like putting a timeline on how much work you have to do or how creative you have to be within a certain time frame.
Exactly. And I'm in a point in my career now where I don't just cut on the computer and get the cooking up like I used to. Back then I used to be able to make, 10 songs a day or 3 songs or in a week. Or now I'm in a space where like I really got to be present. I really got to feel it. I really got to be in a space where I feel like there's something that I got to say. So I talk to him about it all the time. It's hard to be in a situation where, you know, you have deadlines and you have a session coming up Thursday at 7 o'clock, and I'm just praying and hoping that come Thursday at 7 o'clock, I'm in one of those spaces that I need to be in, you know?
Inspired to be creative.
Because sometimes it just doesn't work that way, and I'll just be really feeling it as soon as I get my first drink going with a handful of friends chilling at a rooftop here, and I want to get recording by my session tomorrow at 1 p.m. I want to be home, you know, pet my dog, pause. So yeah, it's a great space to be in. Like, and again, you got to navigate through everything, man. Nothing's easy. Nothing. The whole label like perspective of like, you know, you just sign and everything. Like you sign, you got to go harder. You know, it's more at stake, and the label's not there to resolve all your issues. They're just there to help, to try to bring more clarity and magnify your vision. You know, but it's got to start with your vision, and I feel like that's the problem that I've had in the past as well, of like signing or getting around certain like executives at a label and just feeling like they had all the answers for me and I'm just gonna wait it out and they just gonna put me in the positions I need to be in. And throughout the last few years, I've really kind of came to terms with how important it is to not lose sight of my vision, my goals, what I want to do, and just let them be able to, you know, bring more light to that, but not necessarily put all control and everything in their hands. That's kind of what I'm really been working on lately, just trying to stay in control, trying not to feel rushed, because sometimes we rush ourselves, man, or even, you know, within not being in a 3-4 year deal, you find yourselves in situations like, yeah, we got to turn this in on Thursday, and I've let myself be like a victim to that cycle so much of just like getting the video, the draft on Thursday, uploading it on Friday, and then you drop it and you realize you would have wanted to change something. Yeah. So I'm in that space right now. I'm not going to rush it. I don't really care what it's going to cost me at the end of the day. I just want to make sure that I slow it down and do everything, you know, at the right time and be intentional with everything I'm doing and let it just play out the right way.
That's dope.
If you're watching this, you have an audience interacting with you, coming to your events, buying stuff from you, and tons more.
Rivet plugs into all that and tells you who your top fans are so that you can target them in a more personalized way.
Yeah, you mentioned in an interview with Urban Times that your songs on the EP, Same Time Tomorrow, were named 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., because every early hour in the morning has a different vibe.
Digging. I love it.
So what's your favorite hour of the morning and why?
So the whole concept of that project, it was like we did a tour off of the first song on that project, which was me kind of coming out of a writer's block I'd been in for a minute, and we did 3 a.m. And at the time, I had no idea it was going to be a project. I didn't have a concept for it. But it was me getting home at 3 in the morning, you know, one night and just kind of putting that experience down on wax. So during the tour, we kind of started to realize that we'd end up in like the same cycle a lot of the times, and a lot of the days would kind of end up going the same way through, you know, the 1 a.m. It's like, you know, somebody might hit you like, yo, we're at so-and-so spot, pull up. Like, they, you know, for the last little hour, and then you pull up, and then 3 a.m., you know, you're kind of like on the, or 2 a.m., from the transition from 1 to 2 a.m., I'm sitting there like 1:45, just like going through my DMs, trying to shoot a couple messages, see what comes back, see if I can find something to get into before I got to leave this spot. So then it's that, and then at 3 in the morning, riding back to the crib, and 4 a.m. being drunk at the crib, swiping up on stories I shouldn't be swiping up on, and promising girls the world and shit. You know, I wake up.
What's your Cash App?
But and then 5 a.m. just me kind of realizing like I can't keep doing this. I gotta go to sleep. The sun's coming up. I hate it. Like so. It just we turned it into a project for that reason. That's why it's Same Time Tomorrow. It's like we'll find ourselves in a situation again. And if you ask me, my favorite part of it, I think it's just depending on how the night goes, but probably a little earlier on, because you catch me in the later hours of the night, I might not really know what's going on myself. You know? To be able to come back and describe how much I love it or don't love it, I won't be too in my senses for
That's
it.
valid. That's valid.
The top half of the night, for sure.
I love it. And you mentioned loving being from Houston,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's in everything that you do. What was that first moment when you felt love from Houston, or have you just always felt it?
I just think that, man, Houston, we've gotten like more recognition for like what we're bringing to the table as of late, but I feel like that's been there for so long. Like even you think back to like ASAP Rocky and all these different from years and years ago, just taking certain chopped and screw pieces here, or and I just felt like we didn't much know what to do with like our culture or like what we had there. A lot of our OGs, like we didn't much have too many of them that started their labels like Gucci Mane and put on a whole bunch of artists under them, or like Lil Wayne or whoever else. Like a lot of our rap, to be honest, a lot of them are still making music to this day, from the Paul Walls to the Slim Thugs. You might see a little project here, a little project there, but I don't think, not for good or bad, I just don't think too many of them had that, at least from me on the outside looking in, didn't feel like a lot of them were putting too much effort into bringing like something new out, or passing the torch down to the next generation, So Houston, I've always felt it a part of everything I'm doing, me just kind of understanding the culture and being from there and knowing what is or what's not. Or when I step out and somebody's like, where are you from? Like, why do you talk like that? Or why everything's so slow and chill? And I realized that it's like the Houston stuff that people just don't really know about, So it's definitely everything that I do. I love Houston. I think we have a very unique like culture and atmosphere to how we're doing things right now. And we're over the last 2 years, we've picked up crazy. There's so many different artists that have moved out to Houston over the last few years. A lot of artists coming to Houston to work on their albums. It's a lot more going on than it has been. We've kind of become a hub. So I think y'all will start to be able to see that a lot more in the coming year or two, as far as understanding like what Houston being in. I tell you Atlanta, you can kind of picture what that sound like. I can tell you New York, you can kind of picture what that sound like. I think by the end of the year, 2 years, you'll be able to picture what Houston sound like when we talk about it. Be able to understand it without me having to, it's because this is from, you'll just kind of get it. Like,
yeah, no, I love Houston. Great place. I got a lot of friends down there too. My OG homies.
That's a little bit of everything in Houston. That's another thing. We're very
and just the atmosphere. Like when you go down there and party, like you'll go to one spot, you might go to like camp for a day party and fucking end up at another spot, but like everybody go there and then it's like, oh, we're gonna go to this next spot next. And then after that they all go end up at the same club. And
official after party at Area 29.
Then they got the after party. So it's like everybody just kind of like kick it the whole day. That's why I love you.
Yeah, now it's 6 a.m. We still out here.
So you've been out there a few times.
Yeah, I got homegirls out there, Yaya on the Yaya.
Oh yeah, Yaya in the city, of course.
And Kellen.
Kellen,
yeah, they're my homies.
Shout out Yaya, shout out Kellen. That's love.
So,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time out there.
That's amazing, bro. Next time you come out there, you gotta holler at me.
For sure.
We'll make sure.
Yeah, we locked
Plug you in.
When I come back to Chicago, I'm gonna lean on you.
Yes, sir. That's how it goes.
Yes, sir. But that's awesome, bro. Houston's a good spot. You been out to Houston?
Austin, but not Houston.
Austin's cool.
Yeah.
Austin, for sure. It's like the LA of Texas. Kind of got a little bit of like the face.
That's a good way to describe it.
For sure. It's dope.
That's tight. When you put out No Biggie, you said you felt like you were coming into feel good space, more confident, and just what's that progression been since then?
Oh man, No Biggie was the first record that this is just me being 100% transparent, but it's the first record that I dropped that at the moment of me dropping it, I wasn't too sure that's what I wanted to do. Just because I was coming off a very intentional project with like The Same Time Tomorrow, and if you listen through that, a lot of it's more like musical, even with 5 a.m. ending on a super R&B note. So I didn't know like how fast to pull all the way over to the other side and just come up with like a bop, but it was something that was being received very well through like the people around me, and they were feeling really good about it, and they felt like it was the move to just kind of come out and establish like this new chapter that I was in, where I've been kind of feeling myself a little more, and finally partnering up with AWOL and doing deciding on what I wanted to do to drop an album, which is what I have, something that I haven't done as a solo artist. And yeah, I felt like No Biggie definitely took an important role, and I ended up loving it when it dropped. The more I listened to it, the more I understood its space, and I kind of got its place within my discography. But that's still a space that I think I'm kind of in right now. I'm just more so on like the less overthinking, more just trying to like get back into my bag and having fun and putting myself in good situations so that I can come back and finish the rest of the album and put it all down on wax. I don't like to just write records. I like to take a few months to just live and just come up with experiences and moments and then go back and try to wrap that all up. So that's kind of, No Biggie was a big a big part of that. It was like my transition from me just kind of living life and trying to get back in a good space, and then just taking a quick break to put that down and then get back to it. And you just kind of caught that like bop, feel good type of like cocky and more, which I don't like to do too much, but I love its place in my discography for sure. I think it has a very special place.
Yeah, so with No Biggie or just any of your other records, what's your favorite line that you've come up with after living and putting it together, and why?
Ooh, wow, bro, you're asking me to shoot 10 of my kids, 15 of my kids in my face. Like, discredit. I'm going to get home and be like, how did I say that?
And then when you listen to songs again, you'll be like, oh, I did you dirty.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That was a hard line.
Nah, man, it's so many. Like, I'll diverge that question to, like, my favorite writing as of recent has been 4 a.m. But for me, I think that we did that in like a very real space. We were in Montana at the time when I did that. Which you would think of Montana would be hanging out with bears and making like wildfires, but it was actually like a super fun night. And in the midst of that, 4 a.m. kind of came about, and it was a super genuine, and me like kind of half drunk, but like really in that moment. And when I listen back to 4 a.m., I can put myself back in that room every time, and I feel like I was able to portray what I was feeling very like clearly on that record. So I can't tell you like a line because I promise you I'd overthink about this for the next 3 days and you'd make my head hurt. But that if you listen to that song, I feel like it's some of my best writing as of recent for sure.
That's tight.
I gotta run that one back. 4 a.m.
Yeah,
it's more.
Now you got
chill.
context.
Yeah, it's more on some chill type of stuff. But I love 4 a.m. I feel like as a writing, like as a writer, that's definitely one of my favorite songs.
That's tight. So we break up the questions with trivia questions every few questions, and they're about you and how well do you know yourself.
Perfect. Let's see.
So, which of these has the highest streams on Spotify? 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 2 a.m.
4 a.m.
It's 3.
Oh wow! I could have saw that coming. We had radio play with 3 a.m., but I just felt like digital 4 a.m. 4 a.m. was a little disappointing. I don't know myself too well. I should have took a phone call in for that one.
We should call this segment "Know Thyself." Yeah.
Just restart it.
With Rivet, you can put your fan engagement on autopilot, deepen your fan relationships, and take your sales all the way up. Join our exclusive beta today at rivet.app and take your community and creative business to the next level for free.
So the next questions are kind of about fan base building and your community that you've built so far. How would you describe the E Bleu community, and what's your favorite part about them?
Man, they've stuck with me through all of my mental cluster F-bomb, you know. I've been going through like a bunch of ups and downs like throughout the last few years, and I'll disappear sometimes for a handful of months without any warning and come back without any warning, and they've stuck with me throughout all of that. And I know that it's been like it's tough in the generation that we're in now, where there's new music every other day and new videos every 30 seconds, and you know, attention spans everywhere. So to kind of know that I've been not the clearest about how I've done things, or sometimes lost communication, and they've just stuck around, that means the most. But I describe them as I don't know, I've always tried to put the music first. You know, I'm one of those artists that's kind of still from like, you know, when not a generation behind, but more like a little old school with my mindset as to how I want to put the music out. I'm not like an influencer or a content creator. That's something that I had to learn how to like turn around and do, which is just necessary now, I think, for anybody doing music. But that's not like naturally me. I don't walk in the room and think about pulling my phone out to make sure I put it on Instagram. I'll leave and hope that he did it or somebody else, and if not, I'm gonna get you know, people are gonna get mad at me because I didn't get any content. It happens too often. So I try to just keep music first, and I think that it's people that understand that are there for knowing that every song I'm making, I'm putting everything into it, and I'm generally trying to make the best record possible. And then I'll try to be like a TikToker to get the record out after, but it starts with that, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. And when you were like first building out that fan base, starting out, what was your process for finding your most loyal fans, your super fans, identifying them, talking to them? What did you do?
Oh man, at the time we were kids, just like See, when I was younger, I was around other people that were very good at the internet, that understood it very, very well, that were on forums and like knew how to just be, keeping everything on Facebook. So I learned a lot from that. But I think we were just kids that were putting our entire lives out on social media, everything. And if you look back, like me looking back at it now, that's my problem. It's like people are nosy. People just want to be a part of everything. They want to know everything you have going on. They want to know what you got at the store, what you're doing at night. Have you shaved? Have you not? So it's like at that time when it was a lot more like in that space of me just putting everything out, I think that's when we started catching a lot of momentum. And just at the same time being 13, 14-year-old kids that, were emailing like just crazy like Clancy and all these people at 13 on Facebook and getting responses. Like we just gained a lot of respect, and a lot of different blogs would just start rocking with us, and we just kind of moved it up like that, But I think that was definitely the start, just being around folks that understood the internet that I wasn't much a part of at that time, I would say.
And how's that changed over the years? Like, how do you currently engage with those fans?
By him texting me 13 times an hour, making sure that I posted something. No, but on a real note, I've kind of trained myself to be a little more conscious about it, and at least like dedicating a certain amount of my time to just not like I'm not somebody that tries to create things. I just try to translate it like from real life to my phone. So I've kind of tried to get a little better at that, like just capturing certain things as I go that I can turn around and let them know what I have going on, and just keep it a little more fluent. And at the same time, like I told you, I feel like my fan base knows I'm liable to just disappear tomorrow and be gone for a month and a half, and then just come back with 2 records in a month and a half with no promo and just drop it. And they've been great about it. Because for me, that's another thing, I feel like it's important to know what you want out of this in the music space. Not everybody's in it for the same things. Not everybody wants the highest of heights. Like for me, I just want to be able to drop good music at my own pace and go back just being intentional with what I'm doing, let that go as far as that's supposed to. I might know that I could do certain things for like more exposure or for more, but I've never been that type of person. I've walked away from some crazy situations just to remain true to myself and true to what I want to do within, the music. So that's another reason that I think it's easy for me to be able to go through. I try to stay really in tune with myself and what I genuinely want, what I want people to perceive out of like my efforts, and that's music first. So, there's a bunch of music on Spotify. You can go scroll through it, but I'm posting 2 months, and I'll be back with some more when I feel ready.
That's tight.
Nice,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and in this era with tons of distractions for fans, like you mentioned, like you gotta post everything. Did you do this? Did you not do that? Like, what do you think it is that keeps your fans loyal to wait that 1.5 months for you for that 2-pack?
Quality in the music, taking time in the music. I think people right now, at least for me, I step in a session and I was like, yeah, I'm on my 7th song today. Like, that's great. But I just don't think you get like a trophy for that.
What's the quality of it?
If you were intentional for in all 7 songs and you were genuinely, that's just how long it took you, great. But if you're going in there and you just like one taking a whole freestyle and then you come back and patch 2-3 things up and it's like, that's a song. I think people could feel the difference when, you took 10 sessions to get a record all the way how it needs to, or came back from mixing 3, 4, 5 times just because of one little thing that you could have just said F it, and wanted to come back and make it perfect. And that's always me. Like, I'm going to make sure that I write a record, I'll sit on a song for 6 months until I feel like I can get it perfect. Sometimes last year we traveled literally all across the United States trying to get this mix. We went to Miami. We thought we had it. We had to go to L.A. We thought we had it. Went back to Atlanta. Went back to Houston, Montana. New York. We went everywhere just trying to find a mix for this one record that I just couldn't get it to sound how I wanted it to sound. And that's me. Like, it's not about, I'm not looking at numbers with that or how much I spent. Like, I'm just going to go to the end of the world to just make the music sound how I want it to sound and put it out. And I just feel like that's something that, that's something I got to say or post. Like, you could hear that. And that's what I think honestly keeps them around. But at the same time, like I told you, I'm putting a lot more effort into giving them more content, being more day-to-day with, updating them on here and there on one thing or another. Like right now, I have not posted anything from the moment of me leaving Houston to being here to being on the plane to like the
You gotta let them
But I'll post something here in a minute.
Yeah.
He will. He's already scratching his shit.
What's the most difficult thing with that? Like, now it's starting to be more intentional.
Just trying to keep that in the front of my mind. Like I said, I'm I'm a human being first. So I'll come in here and I'll get so lost and just wanting to get to know you guys and talk and tell you more about what I got going on and want to hear more about what you got going on, that I'll leave and I'll be, smoking in an hour. So I'm like, damn, I don't have like anything to show for any of that. I don't have a picture. I don't have a tag for my guys, like nothing.
Right.
Just be waiting on the thing. So for sure, just trying to stay on top of that,
Yeah, that's dope. Do you have any dope ideas for doing cool stuff with your fans now that you're trying to be more intentional?
Yeah, no, we're having meetings, I think, every day about different things that we could do, whether it's, giveaways here or just content, like being able to keep it on because that's what it is now. You got to keep things on a schedule. At least for me, people that aren't naturally just like content creators, I'm trying to find like a real schedule of, okay, I'm going to drop a live version of something, once a week, or just kind of narrow that whole thing down. But at the same time, like, I'm coming back right now from like a 2-month break, just one of those breaks I told you about, just out of nowhere. And I came back like I think last week. So in the midst of that, a lot of it's been that, like planning from this point forward and me coming back, like how do I want to make sure that I could do it to where, I'm making the most of my time, making the most of everything with the content and a lot of that has been over the last 2 months, me just trying to like get myself to understand, to practice, just taking my phone out, saving videos, making drafts. TikTok's the one thing I don't understand, but I'm trying. So I think with effort, with consistent effort, it's got to be results somewhere.
It's coming.
Somewhere on our horizon.
It's coming. Like what artists do you look at that you think does that really well, and then you look at their community and you're like, oh, that's pretty dope.
So there's a lot of artists that I see on a day-to-day basis, but for me, I'm Hispanic, bro. So it's not something that I've tapped into like a whole bunch growing up or even earlier on, but this year for some reason like something hit me, and I've been really like studying the Spanish folks, and I just feel like I think what it is like for the first time for me, I feel like they're ahead of us in certain things. I feel like before I was like watching a rerun of what we did the year before that, and they would just kind of pick up and like do everything we had done like a year after. And this year something happened. That's why Hispanic music is the biggest music in the world this year, with Bad Bunny to now like the Mexican people going crazy, being like #1 global. That's never happened ever in life. And I've been studying a lot from them. So like guys like Fade right now, people like y'all won't know anybody I'm talking about. But a lot of the Spanish guys I'm looking at just
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, of course. But that's the one I don't look at.
You don't look at him.
I don't look at Bad Bunny. He's too popular. I look at the guys that you wouldn't know because I'm cool like that. Yeah, Bad Bunny's definitely amazing. He's a GOAT. And the boundaries that he broke for us is, it's to respect, period. It's like LeBron's like anything else. Like, you can like it, you might not feel like it's the best, but you can't knock it, though. Like, if you're going to say something bad about LeBron, go say something about the other 1,000 players in the league before you get to him. Because it's just that, whether he's 1, 2, 3, he's up there. There's nothing bad to say about him. That's kind of how I feel about Bad Bunny or anything else. People gonna have their errors. The internet super monkey see monkey do. They bring out one headline and then everybody hates them over 24 hours, and then everybody's back cool with them. So I don't pay attention to that. I feel like if I had to study everybody that I listen or like, and if I had to like the artist making the music, I wouldn't listen to anybody but myself. And that's the misconception, It's like everybody, it's like, oh, but this person, like, this came out on the Shade Room that he did this. I'm like, all right, and if you were to get like a full videotape of what this guy's done his entire life and watch it, you would see a bunch of stuff you don't like.
Yeah.
So it's like you just going into, I don't know, I don't feed into all that social media stuff. The headlines, this person snitched, this person didn't. He probably told on his buddy, to his teacher, like, senior year, you just didn't hear about it. I don't know, whatever it is, like, it's perspective.
Yeah, I feel you.
If you're watching this, you have an audience interacting with you, coming to your events, buying stuff from you, and tons more.
Rivet plugs into all that and tells you who your top fans are so that you can target them in a more personalized way.
So we'll do the next trivia question. All right, you got this. When did you release the 4 a.m. music video? A, October 2021, B, August 2021, or C, December 2021?
Ooh, I thought October. I was sold until you said December. I don't know why I really feel like it's October though. I don't want to look at you. Don't. But it was cold at the same time. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm going December.
Wrong.
It
It was October.
That's why I go against my gut.
Know thyself.
It's crazy. I knew it was October, but I just knew it was cold. Cause it's Chicago, bro. That's why y'all.
He's trying to plug that.
DNL video soon. Yeah.
And y'all remember when that dropped when we do the next podcast.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to have notes. I'm going to have the same list of notes. Just in case.
So now this is like rapid fire questions.
Let's
then we'll do a last trivia question and then we'll be good.
Perfect.
Do you have any superstitions as an artist?
Can you specify
like what you need this sort of thing in the studio to make your music? You need like 8 hours of sleep before you can be in the stew. You gotta smoke a certain strain.
Yeah.
Like,
nah, definitely.
You have a mic you've been using since high school. That you,
Right.
Yeah.
Favorite hat you gotta wear.
Yeah.
It's hard because to me it was smoking. I used to feel like I had to smoke, but now I've kind of like also realized how, you know, if it's one of those rare days where I haven't smoked, my voice is just like way clearer. So I'm trying to find like the balance between the two. And people be like, "Do edibles?" No, I'm not doing edibles. I hate edibles. But it's been the one thing I've always smoked to be able to work every time. But now lately I've been realizing that, you know, if I don't smoke, my voice genuinely stays a lot clearer just in that one day. So I'm gonna try to get in a few times without it, see what happens. But if not, I'll just need to drink. I'm terrible, bro. Don't ask me these kind of questions, bro. Putting all my vices out there. I'm gonna tell you what else I do with work.
let's go for it.
No, we good.
What's your signature song that when it comes on, you just gotta like move to it? And what do you do?
Baby Be Mine by Michael Jackson. And I'll pull over the car, hop out, jump on top of the roof, and just get the vibe. For sure.
Hilarious.
What second?
What second of the song?
Yeah.
As soon as
That was so fast. I was like, you was ready for that question.
Oh yeah. No, trust me. As soon as the song drop, I'm alright. Like as soon as he scream,
You know
3
what time
seconds.
it is.
Yeah.
We should have had a speaker here to just.
Boom. Hit play real quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but
If you could collaborate with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
I don't want to have to be the guy to answer 2 questions back to back like that. But probably Mike.
What's wrong with that?
It's just so stereotypical, but I genuinely I'm a big Mike fan, bro. Like you would see me coming from a Hispanic background. I didn't grow up listening to like Mary J. Blige and Jay-Z. My parents, but my mom did love Michael Jackson.
I thought you were about to put me on to something new.
So that's
say
what,
like Mike was Hispanic.
No,
I was about to be like,
no. So that's one. That's one thing that. Yeah, his name is Mikael. But yeah, bro, Mike. Like I have my faces every 3 months, just going through and just watching every YouTube video, rare videos, everything possible, and then I'll forget about it for 2 months. Not forget about it, but go back to real world. Then I'll do it again. Like it happens every 2 or 3 months. I have my Michael month or era or week. So yeah, for sure, I'll say Mike.
Nice.
what's that 3?
Oh, 3 artists?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Tito.
No, no.
And Janet.
So we're going Mike, John Mayer, bro. I think would be crazy, and Andre 3000 for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, Andre 3000 is probably my favorite rapper. He's in my top 5. Don't knock me for it, but I love it.
No, why? Who would?
I know. I mean, I think it just depends on.
Tough.
Yeah.
That's
and been tough.
as good as it
That's a
get.
great one.
Yeah.
I love Andre, bro. I didn't know if it was like a South thing. I'd come up here and get judged for it by Chicago folks. But
that's 3 stacks.
come on now.
And when people looking from the outside, what 4 words would they not describe you as?
So 4 words that would they not describe me as?
Yeah.
That dude is lame.
So they wouldn't say you lame. Okay, that's one.
Yeah, that's what.
Man, I gotta bring it. Like I gotta do math and think of what they want to say.
We got 3 more.
I don't think I'm not too serious. That's 2 words, you know. But people, yeah. What words would they not describe me as? So serious, for sure. exercise, because I don't do any of it. but I need to.
Okay.
They'd be surprised though.
Try me.
Yeah.
And what's the last one?
Dumb, you know.
Okay. Smart guy. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You don't be a fool.
He got his paperwork in
be a
order.
fool to
Yeah.
take that, you know?
Okay.
I like it. Now the last question. You got this time for real.
All right, I'm gonna try to be a little faster this time.
What's the bottom Insta post on your page today?
Ooh, the bottom one is the No Biggie video because I went back and unarchived it as of recent.
You're right.
Damn.
Yeah, I didn't even need no options.
He didn't even need the options. E Bleu know himself.
I know myself.
Know himself.
I'm in tune. Like
He tapped in with himself.
you gotta know it.
So we got just two more questions.
Let's get it.
So besides Rivet, what 3 icons can you not do without on your phone? No loopholes.
Instagram, Apple Music, and my text.
Okay. Instagram, Apple Music, and text.
No need for a phone.
Nah, I can just text me.
Nice.
Half the time I don't want to hear it. Facts.
And so last question is, what 3 people need to come on this podcast next?
What 3 people need to come on this podcast? Michael Jackson, Under 3000, and John Mayer.
What 3 people?
Hopefully, I'll do host a podcast with Michael Jackson anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love
Hey,
to.
they got holograms and stuff now. Y'all closer than you think.
Nice.
What 3 people we got a shot at getting over to the podcast need to come on this podcast?
So,
We might be able to get John.
So my boy, Lil New, he's from here, from Chicago. He got a crazy record with Herbo right now called Wicked in the Rack 2. We have the same team. I like what he got going on a lot, and he here in y'all's backyard. So I think that would be crazy. I'd love to see it.
You've seen the vibe. Who do you want to answer these questions?
I'm trying to think of what girls I want. I interview Tiana Trump. Or something.
That's it. You know what? That's it.
She got an album coming?
Hey, she got a couple mixtapes. For sure. Booney Mo for sure. It's my brother. I think he's also in y'all's backyard. It'd be great. You probably come in here with 55 people. Y'all might need to get some of y'all's people out to fit all them in, but it'll work. Dominique Fike or somebody like that.
Okay.
That's cool. Yeah.
Be crazy. Oh, Derez Deshawn. Y'all gotta get Derez Deshawn. I'll plug that. I'll plug
All
that.
right.
I like that.
Y'all gotta get Derez for sure.
So we ended on a promise.
Oh yeah, no. Derez, don't let me down, brother. I'm gonna figure it out. The next time he's out here, I'll for sure make it happen.
Appreciate that.
Awesome.
He would love. I don't know if he like y'all, but he would love to be here.
We can report back.
Yeah, y'all let me know how that goes.
Any last things you want to add?
If the Derez podcast goes well, I set it up. If it don't call me about it.
Just text me.
Nah, thank you guys so much for having me. I have I've been saying this a lot lately, but I think there's more music and content that I've released in my entire solo career that will be dropping from here until the end of the year than I have in the last few years combined. So I'm excited. I feel like I'm in a great space right now. I'm very motivated. I have a lot in the works, and I think we're just gonna be flooding it up with content, with new music, and like I said, just be putting out more over the next few months than I have, over the last few years. So
Amazing. So big on me though. E Bleu, Fanarchy, we out.
Yo.
thank you guys for having me. Drunk and Lonely video dropping soon.
Drunk and Lonely.
With Rivet, you can put your fan engagement on autopilot, deepen your fan relationships, and take your sales all the way up. Join our exclusive beta today at rivet.app and take your community and creative business to the next level for free.